Obviously, this season, there's a lot of talk surrounding the coaching staff for obvious reasons. The changes, brand new manager, things like that. Because of that heightened emphasis, I feel like fans are very alert to what's going on with the manager, what he's saying, what he's not saying. And I guess from you, being on the boots on the ground here in this case, what are you seeing, both good and bad, I guess, that's different in this staff, in the way Pedro Grifol runs his team, compared to teams you've been there for and covering in the past?
All right. If I'm being honest with you, the Tony La Russa era was not a good one. The results weren't there. Now, when I say the results weren't there, they won the division. They won the division in 2021, and we have to acknowledge that, and I do. And a lot of things went right for the White Sox in 2021. Among those things were the rest of the division wasn't good. Okay? I'm calling a spade a spade. They weren't really challenged. Well, they were challenged last year. And it's not just the coaching staff as to why the White Sox struggled last year. Injuries were a big part of it, huge part of it. Underperformance, yes. Coaching, Tony, yes. Tony was, as we've learned, was sick for, if not all the season, most of the season. You throw all that into the equation, that's what happened. That's why they went 81-81. The difference between this coaching staff and last year's coaching staff, to some degree, and this is just spring training, maybe to a larger degree, is like night and day. What Pedro Grifol is saying is what I want to be hearing. And these are words, but these are words that are so needed. What was missing last year? The hustling, the fundamentals, defense, the little things, doing whatever it takes to win baseball games. This is in the belly, in the soul of Pedro Grifol. And he's saying it essentially every day. He's great with the media. And when I say great with the media, he says stuff to us. He's giving of information. He's talking about all the things he's preaching. He's sharing things he's talking to the players about. And I felt Tony was just way too guarded with us. The problem I think that Tony had was that he walked into a situation where the team was already there. And he was like this hired gun to take over. And I thought we were getting the old Tony La Russa, the former Tony La Russa, the guy who's just was a tough guy, tough manager, tough on his players, but the players respected and played hard for him. What I saw from Tony was he did the opposite. He was trying to fit in with his players. And I think a lot of White Sox fans were wanting him to do that. Remember the whole thing with Tim Anderson? How's he going to be able to coach Tim Anderson, manage Tim Anderson? He was trying to fit in. And as we found out last season, they didn't need a manager to fit in. They needed a manager to show them the way, right? To show them and hold guys accountable. He wasn't either able to do it, chose not to do it, but didn't do it. Grifol and this coaching staff seem to be, from what they're saying, they'll hold guys accountable. But what's also helping the coaching staff is you got all these players coming in with something to prove. They showed up licking their wounds after last season. So it's a great situation for a new coaching staff to come in because the buy-in is all there. The players are buying what they're saying. I don't want to say what they're selling because they're not really selling, but they're buying what they're saying. So it just feels different. It looks different. It sounds different. It's spring training, but if I was to script how I wanted to see, what I wanted to see from the White Sox, their coaching staff for the first few weeks of spring training, this is basically spot on what I'd be looking for.